Weapons hot and ready to bring the pain, ma'am.
Hello, hello, and welcome back. I am Maester Aelix, and this is Fallout 4 NCR Lone Ranger. And we are right back on the Vertibird, because I liked that intro, and it's a fun way to get around, and a great way to, show the world off while I do my opening talk over the game thing. Intro, that's the word. Golly, my brain sometimes. Anyway, um, we are heading out to the glowing sea to give Virgil his serum back. Or maybe not. I really hadn't decided. But we'll see how it goes when we get through there. And I'd also like to thank everyone for joining me for this episode number 40. For those of you keeping track, my Enclave modded series it ran for 150 episodes. This one's probably going to be about 50, maybe even less. So, much shorter jaunt, but it's definitely much more tighter, and way less wandering around going, what's over here? Yeah, much more focused on stuff and things, so there's that kind of fun. Well, anyway, enough of my prattling on. Thank you all for joining me. So, we'll get going now. Ahem. The Ranger had to head back to the glowing sea, so that meant another jaunt in her power armor. But at least she could travel in style. Yeah, she was really getting used to them vertibirds, and was really enjoying them for what they were. Plus, every once in a while, she's able to take maybe a pot shot or two at some, bad guys or parked cars or something. There was always that. And that was just, good, clean fun. Of course, seeing places she knew pop up, underneath and see a whole new perspective on things was certainly interesting. Of course, she also got to see places she'd never been before. And that was plenty interesting, too. Biggest things you could see was them, planes, trains, automobiles, crashed buses, and the like. But certainly interesting way to see the world and how things had developed. Pre-war relics tucked away, or new things grown up around them. Yep. Sometimes the pre-war stuff made itself pretty well known. Other times, not so much. But regardless of what was going on, she had a bird's eye view. She knew she was getting over the glowing sea from the ground looking, well, brighter than the sky at the time, and from that familiar half-sunk church. Yeah, the fact that she was starting to recognize things out in the glowing sea was a little disturbing to her, but, well, that was life sometimes. Though, seeing a super-duper mart did remind her of home. Yeah. Wanted to get back there sometime, and was hoping to garner enough favor with the Brotherhood of Steel that they'd, give her a lift back out to the West Coast. Now, she knew there were Brotherhood of Steel out there, but they seemed a bit different from these fellas, but, Maxton seemed like a somewhat, occasionally reasonable person. Sometimes what he wanted to be. Yeah, she wasn't too how reliable that would be in getting a ride from him, but never hurts to ask. Once she saw one Deathclaw fighting another, she figured, she'd stop shooting and let them hash it out on their own. She recognized the rise of the mountain, which probably actually was just a crater, as they were heading towards Virgil's place.
Prepare for landing. Touchdown could be a little rough.
Wasn't quite sure she was being set down so early, but, well, maybe they children of airspace or something along them lines. Either way, she knew she was close and just be a matter of going around to deal with it, but still, if she didn't have to, she wouldn't want to, but alas, that was not in the cards. She had to check her map to at least make sure she was heading the right direction. Once inside, she felt a lot better, if no other reason than she wasn't being irradiated.
Virgil.
Well, I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
The interceptor worked. It was rough, but it worked.
Amazing. And what about the serum? Did you find the serum?
Now, she really wanted to give this to the Brotherhood of Steel, but she wasn't about to dash a man's hope.
I've got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
How are you going to test it?
On myself, of course. That was the plan. This serum will only counteract the specific strain of FEV that I infected myself with. There's no telling what it might do to anyone else.
Well, it was slightly disappointing, but at least there wouldn't be any kind of random mutations. She was hoping for, no more centaurs. Those things were terribly creepy, slightly nauseating, and just so sad.
Alright. Here we go.
Protect and serve.
Now, we wait.
How long will it take?
I don't know. Nothing like this has ever been tried before. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
Well, that did do her heart good. Plus, if there was one less super mutant in the world, that'd be a good thing. So if he cured himself or killed himself, either way it'd be, beneficial. But now she had the unsavory task of having to track down her friend, Paladin Danse. She figured she could at least listen to what he had to say. Outside, the glowing sea had decided to show its wrath and fury. But she was terribly uninterested in that. Said she'd have to make her way there. It was just a matter of from what point would she make her approach. Now, she found this all quite fitting, that the place where she really started in earnest in the Commonwealth was the place she would, well, possibly end Danse. Now, while she cared for the Brotherhood and their opinion, the power armor, well, that she could do without. Though she wasn't a fool, she was going to take the fusion course, and no one else would, kind of wander off with it. She knew where it was and where it would be, and could always put the power core back in later. Until then, she had something else to deal with. Most likely some kind of rad scorpion. Oh my, yes. Yeah. She didn't know if she was going to kill Dance or not, but she was going to at least listen to him. Though if she was going to do it, she figured he'd want it done with his own gun. He was the stand-up version, stand-up kind of guy who'd want that. She did see a raider in that bus, so, well, one quick shot and was all that raider wrote. Sometimes people be too loud for their own good. Of course, raider probably felt like they were safe at their own home. Alas, not quite so much. At least the raider had some good ammo on it. Yeah. After that little bit of excitement with the raider and the rad scorpion, she was just kind of hoping for a mostly clear and easy walk to the listen and post Bravo. You know, a life of adventure breeds a was it want for quiet or something along them lines. Yep, she'd hoped she'd encounter, well, really no more unusual resistance. But of course, that was always too much to ask for. Well, it seemed like the Brotherhood of Steel were already on their way here. Or at least doing something in the area. She didn't know how she felt about that. The Brotherhood had a lot of problems in this area, and least she could do is help out just a little bit, or at least peek in to see what they were doing. Ah. A nice juicy robot to take out. She figured she could land a few shots. She had more than enough ammo for the gun, so. Yeah, she'd let them Brotherhood fellas get the salvage out of that one. She just threw in a couple parting shots. Though the mole rats she could have done without. Oh yeah. Definitely could have done without the mole rats. Whatever was happening, she was just going to let it happen. At this point, she was more interested in seeing Dance than, well, just about anything else. She wanted to know what was going on, what was going through his head, all that wonderful stuff. Just wanted to figure things out. She didn't know what to expect when she got down from that elevator. She just hoped it wasn't, you know, too unpleasant. Like he wasn't peeling his face off to reveal metal or nothing crazy.
Identified intruder.
Paladin Dance had set himself a nice little, well, protection racket, I guess. A couple protectrons, and a nice turret on the wall. He himself was holed up in a back room. Looks like he was coming out to meet her. I was plenty fine by her. Give her a second to look around and prepare. Now, she figured she'd have to talk to him or talk him out of it or something, but, well, she figured there'd be talking involved, and she wasn't too great at that, so she'd take all the help she could.
I'm not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
Why didn't you tell me, Dance?
Because I didn't know. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Halen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
No, but I'm hoping there's a way out.
Don't be ridiculous. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that this must be difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
That right there is what convinced her that Paladin Dance needed to be part of this world instead of taken out of it.
The empathy that you're showing me, it's a human emotion.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I've made my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
Is there any way out of this?
We both know that this is the right thing to do. If you refuse to follow Maxon's orders, you're undermining everything the Brotherhood stands for. I can't allow that to happen on my account.
No. I won't do it, Dance.
I can't believe you'd risk your life just to keep me alive. Why would you do that for me?
You're the proof that Maxon's wrong. You're a synth, but everything you've done has been for the good of mankind.
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I'm not technology that's gone out of control. I've been a benefit to mankind, not its downfall. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes, I can consider my next move.
You should return to the Brotherhood.
I suppose. When Halen warned me about Quinlan's discovery, she begged me to confront Maxon. She told me that there were Brotherhood soldiers that still believed in me, that would stand behind me if I challenged his authority. At the time, I told her that it wouldn't be right to cause a rift in our ranks. We're on the brink of war with the Institute, and weakening our unity felt like I'd be backstabbing my own troops. But knowing that you're still with me, maybe that will be enough to convince Maxon that he's making a mistake. I'll come back to the Prydwen with you, and we'll confront Maxon together. Right now, I'm not sure we can even get near Maxon before the Brotherhood would cut us down. But we have to try. I've known Maxon for a long time, and under all that protocol, is a decent man. Just prepare yourself. I don't know what Maxon will have in store when we arrive.
Well, this was certainly an interesting shift in events. Here was Paladin Dance, proud Brotherhood of Steel, struck low and defeatist. And just with a few right words in his ear, he was gung-ho again. Brought a bit of pride to her heart that she'd been part of that. And he was a gentleman,
Going up.
waiting for her before he went and took the elevator too. Good man, that Paladin Dance. Good man indeed. The elevator ride up felt a whole lot longer than the ride down. Probably because she was
Ground floor.
less trepidatious and more giddy with anticipation. Instead,
How dare you betray the Brotherhood?
It's not her fault. It's mine.
I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed?
He's not a thing. He's one of your best men.
Have you taken leave of your senses? Dance isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the sanctity of human life and corrupted it beyond measure.
After all I've done for the Brotherhood, all the blood I've spilled in our name, how can you say that about me?
You're the physical embodiment of what we hate most. Technology that's gone too far. Look around you, Dance. Look at the scorched earth and the bones that litter the wasteland. Millions, perhaps even billions, died because science outpaced man's restraint. They called it a new frontier and pushing the envelope, completely disregarding the repercussions. Can't you see the same thing is happening again? You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind.
That's insane. He dedicated his life to protecting mankind.
Is that what it told you? How can you trust the word of a machine that thinks it's alive? A machine that's had its mind erased, its thoughts programmed, its very soul manufactured. Those ethics that it's striving to champion aren't even its own. They were artificially inserted in an attempt to have it blend into society.
It's true. I was built within the confines of a laboratory, and some of my memories aren't my own. But when I saw my brothers dying at my feet, I felt sorrow. When I defeated an enemy of the Brotherhood, I felt pride. And when I heard your speech about saving the Commonwealth, I felt hope. Don't you understand? I thought I was human, Arthur. From the moment I was taken in by the Brotherhood, I've done absolutely nothing to betray your trust, and I never will.
It's too late for that now. The Institute has foolishly chosen to grant you life. You simply should not exist. I don't intend to debate this any longer. My orders stand.
It's all right. We did our best. You convinced me that I was wrong to be ashamed of my true identity, and I thank you for it. Whatever you decide, know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touching. Either you execute Dance, or I will, Knight. The choice is yours.
If he dies, what happens to me?
Given the circumstances, I'd be willing to overlook this lapse in judgment. The fact that Dance's true nature was hidden from you isn't your fault. Now make your decision, or I will.
Over my dead body.
I see you've made your decision, Knight. How very disappointing. And I don't appreciate being betrayed by my own soldiers. How dare you betray the Brotherhood?
As a Brotherhood of Steel Paladin, I'm issuing a formal challenge against your authority as Elder. We'll settle this matter as it was written in the litany. In combat.
We'll settle this soon.
Then you leave me no choice.
You sure about this?
Yes.
I'll do it.
You're one hell of a soldier.
I'll show you what happens to traitors!
We're done here. Let's move out.
Well, it seemed everyone was somewhat losing their mind and yet also coming to their senses. And going back to the Predwin. Oh, she figured there'd be a lot of talking about this now. Oh boy. And here's where I'll say thank you all for joining me. I hope you're enjoying my content as much as I'm enjoying making it for all of you. And I really do hope you're wow, I messed it up. I really do hope you're enjoying my content. And you know I do, because I put out a video 7 days a week. Yes, every single day. Why? Because I love it so much. Anyway, if you like my content, then please do that wonderful YouTube thing of like, comment, subscribe, and of course share, because sharing is caring, so if you care about someone, then please share this video with them. Of course, you can share with your friends, your families, your enemies, your frenemies, even your nemesis. As long as you think there's a slight chance that they might enjoy this, then please share it with them. Anyway, if you really enjoy my content, then please do take a look in the description below. There's a couple links you can follow. One is to my Discord server, and one is not. But everything that you find there should be really interesting and fun. Anyway, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time, after I take out this robot. See ya!